This is on appraisals. We are closing on the purchase of a newly constructed property. We have the subject to appraisal and have provided a copy to the applicant. The lender is concerned we won't have the completion certificate 3 business days prior to closing. Would this completion certificate fall under the 3-day delivery rule?
Maybe. It depends on what the completion certificate indicates. So there's a Fannie Mae form that generally is utilized in this situation. I want to say it's a 1004 D as in dog, something like that. I've looked at it before. It's not a regulatory, like alphabet regulation form, right? And so if that certificate has something to do with the methodology or the actual dollar amount relative to the valuation, then it has to be provided a copy of it along with the revised appraisal 3 days before closing, or promptly, whichever is sooner, right? If somehow it can be deemed that the information on that form is only clerical, it can be provided within the 3-day window before closing. Um, in any event, if you get the borrower to waive the right to the free copy 3 days before closing, okay, because this is all last minute, and that's where the time and the place for the waiver comes into play, you could just hold out until closing and provide that certificate there, regardless of whether or not it's clerical or has to do with the methodology or the dollar amount arrived at. But you'd have to get their waiver 3 days before closing. We have some banks out there that try to get that waiver across the board, and that's a bad idea. Don't take borrowers' rights away from them. There's a time and a place, like this scenario here, where, hey, Diane, you know what? Coming up on closing, we don't have that back yet. If you want that full 3 days before closing, it may push closing out. Or you could waive your right. I'll still give it to you, but I need you to waive that right because we're more than 3 days out, and that'll make us close on time. Would you like to sign? And Diane's going to get out her pen, sign as fast as possible, right? That's when it should be used.